CALABARZON, MIMAROPA, and Bicol Regions. Where nature and creativity coexist to create spectacular architectural wonders. The art of timber, producing structures that seamlessly blend with the natural surroundings. Offer you an amazing, stunning, and mesmerizing works of timber. From the intricately designed wooden houses and churches, sophisticated buildings, and breathtaking bridges. Come and witness the timeless beauty of structures built with timber. Halina't saksihan kinang ng istrukturang likha sa kalikasan.
So let us begin now our reporting. So good day everyone. Before I begin, I would like to introduce first myself. Ako po si Mark Anthony A. Soto and I am the first reporter for the Region 4A. Today, we are going to discuss the composite infrastructures of several regions in the Philippines. So we are going to be featuring the combination of steel, concrete, and most importantly, the timber. Next po. So to be particular, we are going to tackle the different structures found in Region 4A or the CALABARZON. Next one is the MIMAROPA or the Region 4B, and the last one will be the Region 5 or what we call the Bicol Region. Ayan. Let us now begin with discussing the structures found in Region 4A, the CALABARZON. So before beginning with the structures, let us give a brief information about the Region 4A. So according here, it is widely known to be CALABARZON. It is composed of 5 provinces. It is what we call the Southern Tagalog provinces. So these provinces are the Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, Quezon, and the Cavite. So kilala po ito sa pagkakaroon ng diverse economy, rich culture, and yung rich place niya wherein matatagpuan po natin yung mga mararaming sources ng ating timber. So from that, we can, or the people there adapt to the environment. That's why there are a lot of infrastructures made from the timber. And to make it durable and sustainable, they are adding some materials, which are the concrete and steel, which make it the composite one. So these are commonly used in the region due to its durability and sustainability. Ayan, next po. So we are going to tackle these infrastructures. The first one will be bridges. Next is houses, lighthouse, buildings, and lastly, the churches. Ayan. So let us begin first with the bridges. Yung una pong nakolect namin na data is what we call the Spanish era Camaren Bridge. Ayan. So kung makikita natin dito sa picture, it is very old because actually it is built in the 19th century and actually it is more than 100 years old. It is found in General Trias, Cavite. So according here, the Camaren Bridge was originally built using traditional materials. So yung mga materials na yon, it includes adobe and of course the molave wood, which we know ay napakatibay po. So aside from that, it is made also from some stones, and the beams and columns are originally made using the molave wood. Ayan. So napaka-durable nito. That's why hanggang ngayon, it is still standing. Next one will be the Ibaba Owain Hanging Bridge. So it is found in Sampaloc, Quezon, and it was made in 2018. So yung span po niya sa Real Quezon River, and it connects the villages Purok 2 and Purok 3 of Barangay Tanawan. So actually, this hanging bridge is made from steel cables. But the planks na kung saan tayo tumatapak, ito po yung gawa sa timber. So, habang binabagtas po natin yung kahabaan ng hanging bridge na to, makikita po natin yung napakagandang surroundings doon sa place na yon. Ayan. So, next naman po na bridge ay yung tinatawag natin na Bridge of Paradise. Ayan. So, makikita po natin tong Bridge of Paradise sa San Vicente, Gumaca, Quezon. Ayan. So, it was made also in 2018. It spans the Gumaca River and it connects the Barangay Isla Paraiso and Barangay Tungkong, Ilaya. So, it features mangrove forest. So, kung makikita po natin sa kapaligiran nitong hanging bridge na to, meron pong mga molave trees, which is really good for the environment. And you can also witness the beauty and stunning views of Gumaca River by viewing the surroundings of it habang naglalakad ka sa bridge na to. Ayan. So, those another bridge is the Hanging Bridge of Pico de Loro. So, ito po ay matatagpuan sa Hamilo Coast, Batangas, and it was built in 2007. So, ito po ay klase ng suspension bridge that spans a narrow river, providing visitors with an exciting and adventurous way to cross over to the other side. Ayan, so kung makikita natin sa picture, it is made from wood talaga. So malalaki po itong mga planks ng wood. So there is a big vertical wood and also the planks na pinaglalakaran natin, ito po ay gawa sa timber. Ayan. So actually, it is a must-visit place because it features a beautiful and scenic surrounding or landscape doon sa Batangas. Ayan. So I think that would be all for the bridges. Now we are going to move on sa houses naman po. Ayan. So i-feature natin yung mga houses na gawa sa timber. Una na po dyan yung the Heritage Houses of Taal. So, of course, by the name itself, it is found in Taal, Batangas, and it was built between 1870 and 1890. So, napakatanda na po nito, but still, there are a lot of houses na nakatayo pa rin dito. So, the Heritage House in Taal, Batangas, are also known as Agoncillo Mansion. It is very historical actually. So, noon pa siyang Spanish colonial period, no? So, it was, as I have mentioned, it was built in 19th century. So, actually, ito po ay pagmamay-ari ng nina Don Leon Apacible and ng asawa niyang si Matilde Martinez. Ayan. So, for the brief history of this, mayroon po itong mga historical events na nangyari dito like yung revolution actually. So during the Philippine Revolution, the Agoncillo Mansion served as a meeting place for the Katipunan. Yan. So ito po yung meeting place nila ng KKK na alam naman nating napaka-historic. So actually, Matilde Martinez Apacible is also member of the society. So Matilde Martinez Apacible is also the one who sued or nagtahi ng Philippine flag. Kasama po siya sa mga nagtahi nun. And katulong niya po si Lorenza and Marcela Argoncillo na kanyang mga pamangkin. Let us continue with the next house. It was called Don Catalino Rodriguez Ancestral House. It is also known to be Villa Sariaya. So it is made of a combination of wood, concrete, and steel. It is found in Sariaya, Quezon, and was built in 1922. So the house was said to be a place for important occasions. So napaka-historical din po nito dahil ang daming mga naganap na historical events dito sa bahay na to. So meron din pong mga important persons and historical persons na dumayo or pumunta dito sa bahay na to, katulad na nina President Manuel Quezon, Claro M. Recto, and a lot more. So in 1990s, the house was restored actually. So with the effort of Mr. Vicente Rodriguez, one of the 8 children of the owners. After Vicente Rodriguez, his 4th child, Rebecca, purchased and restored again the house. So it was built in 1922 and a lot of renovations happened. But the timber materials remained there actually. So the next one, we have the Casa Consuelo. So it is a combination of wood, concrete, and steel. It is found in Villa Escudero in Lipa City, Batangas, and was built in 1920s. So residence po ito nung isang napaka-prominent na pamilya during that time, which is Villa Vicencio family. So it has later on become actually a museum. So during World War II, the house served as a refuge for guerrilla fighters who were fighting against the Japanese occupation. After the war, the house was returned to the Calao Ledesma family and was subsequently sold to the Ilagan family. Okay, so for the next one, we have Casa San Pablo. It is also a combination of wood and concrete, but another material is the bamboo. So it is found in Colago Avenue, San Pablo City, Laguna, and was built nitong 1997. So ang nakadiscover or ang nag-build po talaga nito ay yung mag-asawang Boots and Ann Mercado Alcantara. So originally, binili po nila ito noong naninirahan pa sila sa Manila, and they purchased it to be their retreat house sa lalawigan ng Laguna. So there are a lot of renovations that happened, but as you can see, sobrang fini-feature ng house na ito yung mga timber materials and also the bamboo materials from the outside up until when you go inside the house. So for the next one, we have, of course, Jose Rizal's house, or what we also known as Jose Rizal's Shrine. So it is a combination of wood and concrete. It is found in Calamba, Laguna, and was originally built in 1801, but it was actually renovated in 1950. It is the ancestral home of the Philippines' national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. So, actually, in 1801, it was built originally and by the father of Jose Rizal, which is Francisco Mercado, and was later inherited by Rizal's mother, Teodora Alonso. So, doon mismo pinanganak si Jose Rizal noong taong 1861 and doon niya dinanas yung iba't ibang mga karanasan niya noong kabataan. Ayan. So, it was declared national shrine in 1950 because during that time it was also renovated, and it was carried out to preserve the house. Yon, a lot of renovations and restorations happened. That's why until now it is standing, and the things that we can found inside are totally preserved. And it serves as a museum actually for a lot of people to showcase the life and experiences and the things that belongs to Jose Rizal and his family during that time. It's very historical. Okay. So, another structure is what we call the lighthouse. So, we have one. So, it is called Punta de Santiago Lighthouse. It is a combination of wood and concrete. So, it was built in 1897 in Calatagan, Batangas. The lighthouse, which was built in the 19th century, has a cylindrical tower made of stone and brick masonry, and the upper portion of the tower features a wooden gallery and lantern. So, as we can see, or makikita natin sa loob nito, there are a lot of wooden materials, including the floor. So, that lighthouse is a very good thing when it comes to featuring the wooden materials for its construction. Ayan. So that will be all for my part. Thank you so much.
So, good day everyone. I am Hannah Marie Alambon and I am going to discuss the churches that has wood or timber as structural elements. So, during the establishment of these churches, they were built, no, they were made initially of light materials, including nipa, bamboo, or wood. And those churches that were made in light materials were destroyed by wars during raids or by fire incidents, earthquake, and other natural calamities. But despite of those disasters that happened, they have been rebuilt or repaired over and over again in order to strengthen the structure or and also to accommodate the people or the Roman Catholic devotees. So what are these churches? So first we have San Sebastian Parish Church of Lumban. So this is located in Lumban, Laguna, and this was built in 1578. So even before it was built into a stone church, the sanctuary was also a house of prayer. It was first made of light materials, which were wood and Dutch. So when we see Dutch, it is a straw, or in Tagalog, pawid. So gawa siya sa plant or straw. And it is a covering, no, or it shelters the house during ng mga dati pa. Unfortunately, in 1586, a fire destroyed the building. And instead of rebuilding a Dutch church again, they made a stone church. So it was finished and commissioned in 1600, though it is constructed after the fire incident. So ganun katagal nabuo yung stone church. And in 1880, the church was seriously damaged by strong earthquake, but was again restored by Father Manuel Rodriguez in 1889. And the massive Church of Lumban was completed in its original form during the American occupation and was dubbed as the biggest stone church in Laguna. However, noong 1941, it it was again heavily damaged during the Japanese occupation and a storm in 1947. So, but still, sa ngayon, nakatayo pa rin yung Lumban Church. So, next, we have Nuestra Senora de la Asunción Church or the Our Lady of the Assumption Church in Maragondon, Cavite. So, this church is built in 1627. And when it comes to the history, in 1599, the Cathedral Chapter of Manila transferred its jurisdiction to the Jesuits, who took over in 1611. So one of the Jesuits, Father Angel Armano, started building the church, and worked for it to become a parish. So, ng 1627, naging parish na siya with its patroness Nuestra Señora de la Asunción. And in 1650, the Jesuits were given permission to build a church with wood, and they also built a convent in 1666 to 1672. And they began to convert the wooden church into stone in 1687 and completed it by 1714. So kagaya nung nauna, sa Lumban, Laguna, nagsimula rin sila sa isang wooden church into stronger stone church. So next, we have San Ildefonso de Toledo's Parish Church, located in Tanay, Rizal. So, the church of San Ildefonso in Tanay, built mainly of stone, masonry, and wood, in the second half of 18th century by the Franciscans, is the best preserved church complex in Rizal. So, as it is said, the construction of the present church has begun in 1773 and was completed after 10 years, noong taong 1783. So, ganun katagal na binuo yung stone church, no? Makikita natin. But it is also mainly built of stone masonry. It includes wood. And in 1851 rather, the Casa Parroquial was repaired and reduced under the administration of Father Santiago. And in 2001, the Church of San Ildefonso was one of the 26 Spanish colonial churches declared as the National Cultural Treasure by the National Museum of the Philippines for its outstanding historical, cultural, and architectural value. So next, we have St. John the Baptist Church, located in Liliu, Laguna. So, St. John the Baptist Parish Church, or also known as Liliu Church, it was founded in 1605 by Father Miguel de San Lucas. And in 1620, the first parish church was built with a basic wooden structure. Just like the previous churches that I have mentioned, they are first made of wood. And it was replaced by a stronger stone church that was constructed from 1643 to 1646. However, this church was partially destroyed during the 1880 Luzon earthquake and reconstructed in 1885. And however, it was later burned in 1898. So, ang dami niyang pinagdaanan. And since then, the church stood as witness on how history has been molded. Next. And we also have Baras Church in Baras, Rizal. So, yung construction ng Baras Church, it began in 1682, right after the town returned to its present site from Ibayo. And Baras Church is of Baroque style, and it is made with dark adobe stones. And unlike the several other centuries-old churches, this church is simple and unpainted. So, kung makikita natin dyan sa illustration, sa picture, yung dingding niya, unplastered, at nakikita, na-expose yung mga pinagpatong-patong na stone or bricks. And kung papasukin natin yung church, yung Baras Church, makikita natin na wala siyang ceiling. And dahil doon, na-expose yung mga wooden trusses na, ayun, makikita natin na merong timber structural member doon sa loob ng church na ito. And also, the massive oak window dominates the structure, while stained glass windows brighten the church's dark interior. And despite its roughness and simplicity, the church withstood the test of time and remains a strong symbol of Catholic faith in town. So lastly, we have Santa Ursula Parish. So it is located in Binangonan, Rizal. And the centuries-old church of St. Ursula at the Poblacion was first built by the Franciscan friars as a chapel in the late 16th century to gain access to native settlers around Laguna de Bay. And the present church, it began in 1792 and completed in 1800s. And it also It was also renovated in 1853, and at the same time, the adjacent convent was rebuilt under Father Francisco de Paula Gomez. And kagaya doon sa previous church na Baras Church, makikita natin sa loob na wala ring ceiling yung Santa Ursula Parish. That's why nakikita din natin yung wooden trusses na naka-expose dun sa taas. And this gives a rustic look doon sa simbahan. So that would be all for the churches. Thank you.
So now let's talk about the buildings in Calabarzon. The first one is next po. The Noveleta Tribunal. So Noveleta Tribunal is founded in 1869. It was one of the municipalities that had a local court system. The tribunal was established to provide a legal forum for resolution of disputes and the administration of justice within the municipality. So itong Noveleta Tribunal is significant siya and plays an important role in the justice system of the municipality of Noveleta in the Philippines. It is a judicial structure that serves as court for the resolution of civil and criminal cases within the jurisdiction or yung nasasakupan ng mga ng municipality. So, one of the key importance of Noveleta Tribunal is that it provides yung avenue para mabigyan yung mga citizens at makapag-provide ng magandang serbisyo para sa mga tao kung saan tinutukoy yung justice system and tsaka yung mga resolution na ginagawa sa kanilang munisipalidad. Through these courts, processes and procedures, yung mga individuals and yung mga organizations will have their cases be heard and decide kung ano yung kung guilty ba or not guilty ba with the help of the evidence presented and syempre yung mga relevant laws and regulations. So, the Noveleta Tribunal is the first municipal hall of the town in Noveleta, Cavite. Next po. So, Casa Hacienda de Tejeros, it was located in Rosario, Cavite, and it is built during mid-19th century. So, it is a historical site where the Tejeros Convention was held on March 22, 1897. So, this event was the significant moment in the Philippine history as it is marked as the established for the first Philippine Republic and the election of Emilio Aguinaldo as the country's first president. So today, the site serves as the museum that showcases artifacts and exhibits related to the Tejeros Convention and the Philippine Revolution. Next po. So the Lumban Municipal Hall is located at Lumban, Laguna, and it is built during 1800s. So itong Lumban Municipal Hall is a historic building na makikita nga sa Lumban sa probinsya ng Laguna. So the building originally served as the municipal hall and the house of the offices of the local government unit. It was designed in the American neoclassical style, featuring yung mga columns, yung mga arches, and also the symmetrical facade of the municipal halls. So during World War II, the building was occupied by the Japanese forces and was heavily damaged. So some parts of the municipal hall is nasira na, but it was renovated and restored during 2004. So the building underwent further renovations para lang ma-modernize yung mga facilities and also para rin ma-preserve yung mga historical features ng municipal hall. Next po. Next is the Aguinaldo Shrine, which is located in Kawit, Cavite, and built during 1845. So itong Aguinaldo Shrine, it was the originally house of General Emilio Aguinaldo, which is the first president of the Philippines. And also, ito rin po yung nagsiserve as the headquarters of the Philippine Revolution against the Spanish colonial rule. So the house was originally built in the mid-19th century as a two-story structure or dalawang palapag. But it was later expanded and renovated to its current form. So, dito rin, dineclare ni President Aguinaldo ang kauna-unahang Philippines independence from the Spanish colonial rule noong June 12, 1898 from the balcony of the house. So, during World War II, the house was occupied by the Japanese forces and suffered extensive damage. So, katulad lang rin nung nauna, meron din mga damage yung house ay yung shrine, but syempre ni-renovate and de-restored and kinonvert lang siya into museum para rin ma-preserve yung structure. So next po. The next one is Museo de la Salle in Dasmariñas, Cavite, and was built in 1920s. So the building was originally the home of the Siquia family, a prominent political family during the early 20th century in the Philippines. So in the 1960s, the building was purchased by the De La Salle University and served as the residence of the university's president. So in the 1980s naman, the building was restored and converted into museum. The restoration work aimed to preserve the building's colonial era architecture and features such as yung mga intricate wooden floorings and ornate moldings and elegant staircase. Next po. So next is the UP Los Baños Museum of Natural History. So the UPLB Museum of Natural History was designed by the national artist for architecture, Leandro V. Locsin. So the museum building's design is a fusion of contemporary and traditional Filipino architectural style. Pinifeature yung mga sloping roof, a central courtyard, and large windows that allow a natural light to enter the galleries. The museum building is also recognized for its eco-friendly features. The building incorporates natural ventilation system and uses solar panel to generate electricity. So yung design also includes yung mga rainwater harvesting system which are used to irrigate the museum's gardens. Next po. So the Pinto Art Museum, which is located in Antipolo City, Rizal, and was built during 2010. So Pinto Art Museum is a contemporary art museum that showcases yung mga contemporary Philippine art. So in-establish ito during 2010 by Dr. Joven Kuanang, a renowned art collector and a patron, para nga ma-preserve yung mga contemporary Philippine art na usually is gawa ng mga tao na nakatira sa Rizal at saka sa Antipolo. So the museum's collection includes a wide range of contemporary art including yung mga paintings, yung mga sculptures, installations, and multimedia works. Many of the works were created by some of the Philippine most prominent artists as well as yung mga nag-emerge pa lang na mga artists and yung mga talents na sino-showcase nila. So the museum is housed in a complex of interconnected buildings that were designed to blend in with the natural surroundings of the area. So the buildings were built using sustainable materials and methods, and museum features a variety of outdoor spaces and gardens. So ngayon, yung Pinto Art Museum is isa sa mga popular cultural institutions in the Philippines na nag-a-attract ng mga visitors from all over the country and also around the world kasi may mga tourist na rin na bumibisita at tumitingin dun sa museum. It hosts a variety of exhibitions, educational programs, and events throughout the year, and is known for its unique combination of art and nature. Next po. The next one is the Museo ni Marcela Mariano at Felipe Agoncillo. So, the museum is dedicated to the life and legacy of Marcela Marino de Agoncillo, who is known for designing the first Philippine flag, and her husband, Felipe Agoncillo, a diplomat and statesman who played a key role in the Philippine Revolution. So, yung museum is housed in a historic building that was once the house of ancestral home of Agoncillo. So itong building is ni-restored and kinonvert into a museum during 1981 by the National Historical Institution with the support of the Agoncillo family. Next po. The next one is the Casa de Segunda, which is located in Lipa City, Batangas, and was built in 1880s. So Casa de Segunda is a heritage house that was built in the 19th century and is named after its former owner, Dona Segunda Solis y Rodriguez. So the house is an excellent example of traditional Filipino-Spanish architecture with its high ceilings, large windows, and ornate wooden details. So yung house is na-restored noong 1990s and converted into museum by the National Historical Institute. So yung museum na to ay nag-feature ng mga exhibit ng mga historical and cultural things in the town of Lumbang, as well as the life and times of Doña Segunda Solis y Rodriguez. So ngayon, itong Casa de Segunda is popular destination para sa mga tourists and mga visitors na gustong ma-experience yung kagandahan at yung heritage and traditional Filipino-Spanish architecture in the city. Next po. Ayan, the Galleria Taal. So Galleria Taal is located in Taal, Batangas and was built noong 1870. So Galleria Taal is a museum na fini-feature yung mga collection of vintage cameras and photographs that showcase the history of photography in the Philippines. So in layman's term, itong museum na to is fini-feature niya yung mga picture noon pa at yung mga vintage camera na ginagamit ng mga photographer. So it also features a range of artifacts and memorabilia that provide insights into the life and culture of Taal, Batangas and the surrounding areas. So ngayon, itong Galleria Taal is a popular destination for visitors who want to learn more about the history of photography in the Philippines and the culture and heritage of Taal, Batangas. It is also significant cultural and historical institution in the region para matulungan and ma-promote and ma-appreciate at saka ma-preserve yung Philippine culture and artistic heritage. So I am Mark Renel C. Alvarez po na tinatalakay ang mga buildings dito sa Calabarzon. That would be all. Thank you for listening.
So, ayun, thank you, Ronel. Good day to all. And my name is Jetel M. Mopal, one of the reporters sa Region 4B. So, ayun, before we introduce the infrastructures that utilize timber as structural material, here in Region 4B, let me discuss first the brief information about the region. So, next slide po. So, Region 4B, o also known as MIMAROPA, derived from Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan, is known for its abundance sa natural resources, specifically yung timber. And the region's infrastructure heavily relies on this resource as it is used in various industries such as yung construction, furniture making, and paper production. So in terms of composite materials, it offers a huge number of benefits or advantages over traditional materials, including yung increase ng durability, strength, and resistant to wear and tear. In addition, these materials can be produced more efficient and a lot lower cost than traditional materials. So, mas mura siya. So, sa next slide naman po, so yung mga structures na mag-represent dito includes the following, which are the bridges, houses, lighthouse, buildings, churches. So, let us begin exploring it. Siyempre, papangunahan na yan ni Carl Bryan na tatalakay sa bridges. Thank you.
Yan, good morning, and I'm Carl Bryan de los Reyes, and tatalakayin ko yung patungkol sa bridges. Next slide po. Yan. The first one is the Coron's Lambingan Bridge. And matatagpuan nito sa Coron, Palawan. It was built 2010, and Lambingan Bridge is a small bridge located in Coron, Palawan. And it is a pedestrian bridge that spans of pinangalan itong Lambingan Bridge noon dahil meron local television show malapit doon sa kanila, kaya pinangalan ito Lambingan Bridge. Then Ricky Wooden Wharf of Corons was where we headed to board the outrigger boat for the day's island tour. And kids hanging out Coron's Lambingan Bridge was tagged by the locals literally translate to the bridge of affection. Must be a common hangout place for lovers and would-be lovers. And Coron is a popular tourist beaches, clear waters, and coral reefs. It is possible that Lambingan Bridge serve as a pedestrian access point to the one of town's tourist spot of attraction. Also, after the destruction of first bridge, temporary bridge was built in a place to allow transportation across the bridge doon sa Coron. Then construction of the new Lambingan Bridge began in 2018 after ng destruction. Then the completed Lambingan Bridge is concrete arch bridge that spans 66 meters over the Lambingan River, was opened to the public in 2020. Next po. And the next bridge na matatagpuan natin alongside the MIMAROPA region is the Karamay Hanging Bridge. Ayan. Matatagpuan ito sa Rojas, Palawan. It was built on 1986, and according to the local, the bridge was built by the residents of the community using the indigenous materials such as bamboo and rattan. The bridge was constructed to provide a safe and convenient way for the locals to cross the river, especially during the rainy season when the river becomes impassable. And in the 1980s, the bamboo bridge was replaced with a rattan version para mas maging matibay siya and more stronger and durable. And the Karamay Hanging Bridge has been important access point to the community, allowing the farmer cross the river to reach their farm and enabling locals to reach the town center. Ayan. Then the bridge was severely damaged by Typhoon Yolanda in 2013. With the help of the local government and private sector, the Karamay Hanging Bridge was constructed and reopened, becoming a popular tourist attraction that showcases the cultural heritage and cultural beauty of Rojas, Palawan. Then today, the Karamay Hanging Bridge serves an important landmark and a popular tourist attraction in Rojas. Visitors can enjoy the breathtaking view of the river and the lush greenery that surrounds the area. The bridge is also symbol of ingenuity and resourcefulness of the local communities in Palawan. Next. And proceed naman tayo sa houses na matatagpuan natin alongside the MIMAROPA region. The first is the Casa Narvas Heritage House. And matatagpuan natin ito sa Baok, Marinduque, early 1920s. And the history is it was built by Don Ramon Narvas, a wealthy Chinese businessman who settled in Marinduque. And the house of two-story structure made a hardwood and has design that combines Chinese and Filipino architecture as a hospital by the Japanese military. It was later abandoned and fell into despair. However, in 2011, the Marinduque Council for Culture and the Arts. Then today, Casa Narvas Heritage House in Baok serves as a cultural history. It houses artifacts and memorabilia from Marinduque past, including traditional costume, antique furniture, and other historical items. It is open to the public and welcomes visitors who are interested in learning more about the culture and history of Marinduque. Then next, the Soleta Ancestral House. It was found on Abra de Ilog, Occidental Mindoro. And binild naman ito early 1900s. And the house has been preserved through the years and has become a popular tourist attraction in the area. The Ableda Ancestral House is said to have been owned by a prominent family in Mamburao, and the article mentioned that the house has served as a witness to the town's rich history. Including the Japanese occupation during World War II, the house features traditional architecture and design elements, including a wooden second floor veranda and sliding coppice window. Also, during World War II, the Soleta Ancestral House used based Japanese soldiers, later occupied by the American forces. Then, in 1970, it was said that the Soleta family renovated the house, adding more modern amenities such as electricity and plumbing while preserving the original design. Then today, we see that the Soleta Ancestral House is a popular attraction that offers visitor a glimpse into the rich history and culture of Occidental Mindoro, showcasing traditional architectures, antique furniture, and historical artifacts. Next slide po. Next is the tree house in a tiny compound in Romblon. Place Abra de Ilog, Occidental Mindoro. It was built on 2019, bago lang siya. Then the history, the structure featured in a small compound located in Romblon, Philippines. The compound consists of several small structures made of bamboo, wood, and other local materials. It appears that the compound was built by the owner, a Frenchman named Oliver. Over a period of 3 years, the compound was designed to be eco-friendly and sustainable, utilizing local materials and solar power for electricity. The main living space, the compound, is a two-story structure made of bamboo and wood, with an open plan living area on the ground floor and a low bedroom above. The compound has an outdoor shower and also made in timber structures. Next po. Next is the Palawan Tribal Village House. Matatagpuan na to sa Puerto Princesa, Palawan. It was built early 1900s. The tribal village in Palawan is relatively new developed in Puerto Princesa that aims to promote ecotourism and showcase the traditional way of life and culture of the Palauan tribe. However, the Palauan tribe itself has been living in Palawan for thousands of years, and their traditional houses have been part of their way of life for generations. The houses were built using natural materials found in the local environment and were designed to withstand the tropical climate of Palawan. Yan. Noon pa man yung tribo ng Palauan is namumuhay na using the structure of timber design sa kanilang mga houses and sa kanilang culture na ginagamit yung mga wood design. Then over time, the design and construction of traditional houses in tribal villages have been influenced by external factors such as introduction of new materials and construction technique. However, many tribal communities continue to build, live, and in traditional houses as a way of preserving their cultural heritage and connection to the land. And ayun nga, ginagamit nila ngayon yung kanilang tribo as pinakakilalang lugar para doon sa Palawan na dinadayo ng mga dayuhan. Next po. So, ayun po. Next na po tayo sa churches.
So, ayun po. Good afternoon po. So, again, ako po ulit si Jetel Mopal, and let me present to you yung several churches located sa MIMAROPA that use timber or woods as structural members. So, these are the following. Next po. So, una na dito is yung San Agustin Parish Church, which is located sa Coron, Palawan, and founded noong 1901. So, San Agustin Parish Church is the only church na located sa Coron, and built siya noong 1901 and underwent several renovations throughout the years. Pero despite being situated in the town center, yung church na to is among sa most peaceful locations in town. So it is the first chapel was constructed with the use of light materials, including na dito yung timber or wood. Tapos noong 1932 naman, nagkaroon ng developments through the help of Reverend Father Joaquin Fernandez, OAR. So, pagkatapos nung construction, the building was refurbished in 1969 while alterations of the altar and the vestry followed in 1993 under the direction of Reverend Father Mario Magbanwa and Reverend Father Camilo C. Caabay accordingly. So, noong 2008 naman, si Reverend Father Manuel S. Manlavi is commissioned the establishment of the church bell tower. Tapos, noong September 8, 2011, si Reverend Father Eddie B. Peñafiel is nag-propose ng church extension project Through the aid of the 15-man committee, the Parish Pastoral Council, headed by Mrs. Carolina Magallanes as coordinator nito, and the benevolence of the faithful of Quezon, benefactors and friends. Tapos sa architects naman nila is si JPM Padrones and Christine Flores were responsible para sa architectural designs, while si Engineer Edmar R. Aquaitan managed yung construction, which was accomplished in 2012. Tapos yung San Agustin Church then was earnestly blessed by the Most Reverend Father Edgardo S. Wanich D.D., Vicar Apostolic Vicariante of Taytay on Palm Sunday, March 24, 2013. And itong church na to, they offer Tagalog and English Mass na open lagi sa public. And kung mapapansin nyo sa mga pictures, yung church has wooden truss roof dun sa loob system with steel tie rods and concrete walls. Tapos yung reference niya nasa pinakamaba. So, ayun po. Yung pangalawa naman is Immaculate Conception Church, which is located naman sa Labang Island, Occidental, Mindoro, and founded noong 1865. This church was said that one of the country's first encomiendas awarded by the Spanish colonial government to Felipe de San Celdo in 1572. As stated in a document submitted sa Catholic Church noong 1591, the island needed its own priest to minister the new converts kasi yung community nila only comprises ng 2,000. Kaya naman, they need na pataasin pa yung number nito para magkaroon ng own priest. And also, though other historical accounts indicate the presence of missionaries in the area since the encomienda's founding in the 16th century, yung first definitive mention of a church sa area na to appears only noong 19th century. And according sa existing documents, yung town's first church was built through forced labor under ng supervision ni Father Muriel noong 1865. Tapos, 53 years later na, nagdaan, yung isang typhoon struck the Lubang in 1918. In its wake, the storm destroyed the town's crops and many of its structures, including na yung church na binild ni Father Muriel dahil na din dun sa ginamit na light materials. And noong 1935 naman, si Father Benito Rixner of the Society of the Divine Word or yung SVD, he mobilized the construction of the concrete church na it features yung wooden truss roof system with steel tie rods, katulad nung kanina, to replace yung old one destroyed by the typhoon. So, next na po. Third is yung Santa Monica Church, which is located sa Puerto Princesa, Palawan, founded noong 1994. It was February 21, 1994 when the Council of Administration of the Apostolic Vicariate of Palawan made a decision to divide yung parish of Immaculate of Conception Cathedral into 3 parishes. And it includes the Cathedral as the mother parish, San Miguel Parish, and yung Santa Monica Parish Church. The decree of erection was issued on 8th day of April 1994. The Council of Administration was acting upon the pastoral needs of the people of God detached doon sa parish of Immaculate Conception. And itong Santa Monica had been delineated dun sa territorial boundaries niya. And yung specific location niya is bounded sa Irawan sa west, Santa Lourdes Exclusive by the north, Villa Princesa sa east and Tinigiban sa south. Tapos lahat ng barrios and sitios na nakakover ng parish na to is yung Villa Princesa, Siksikan, New Princesa, Irawan, Tigiban, Pinakreef, Ilang-Ilang, tapos Sandiwa and Bantog. Tapos si Father Rufino Deslante was installed parish priest on June 12, 1994, duly designed as the patron saint of the place. Yung open hexagonal church was built through the help of the Speaker of the House of Representatives na si Ramon Mitra Jr. Tapos, yung church na to is nagfe-feature siya ng wooden frame and thatched nipa farm roof with concrete walls. So, next po. So, next na dyan is yung St. Joseph Parish Church, which is located naman siya sa Pinamalayan in Oriental Mindoro, and date of birth niya is 1938. Yung church na to features a wooden ceiling with decorative carvings and wooden altar na visibly noticeable dyan sa mga pictures. And pagsasapit na yung Holy Week, dahil malapit sila sa Marinduque, nagkakaroon sila ng moriones na nagpaparada along the road. And this church was founded by the Franciscan friars who came to the area to spread Christianity. And sinasabi din na yung church na to was built by the residents of the town under the guidance of friars. Tapos dati yung original church is talaga siya, made of wood and thatch, but it was later replaced by a stone and mortar structure noong 1858 para mas maging durable o maging matibay ito. And yung bagong naman na church was built by Agustinian Recollects, who took over the administration of parish from the Franciscans noong 1853. And yung feast day nila is tuwing March 19, yung diocese naman nila is Apostolic Vicariate of Calapan. And yung vicariate naman nila is St. Joseph Vicariate. And yung parish priest naman nila is Father Anthony Ibarra Pabella, SVD. So, ayun lang yung, konti lang kasi yung information about it. So, next na tayo. Which is, ito naman si St. Peter and Paul Parish Church na located sa Bulalakaw, Oriental, Mindoro. Founded noong 1952. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, this church was founded in 1952. And yung church na to is dedicated sa mga saints na si St. Peter and Paul para sa patron saints nila. Kaya nga, ayun yung naging name nito. So, the church was not impressive and found it small for such a locality. Yung parish naman, they celebrate the shared feast of its titular patrons on June 29th of each year. Tapos sinasabi that both Apostles Peter and Paul were martyred upon the orders of the Roman Emperor na si Nero sometime between nung 64 to 68 AD. So, si St. Peter, who is acknowledged as the first pope of Roman Catholic Church, is asked to be crucified upside down because he deemed himself unworthy to die with the same manner as Christ. Tapos, kay naman, si St. Paul naman, who traveled all across Europe and even Asia Minor to spread yung aral ng Diyos, was beheaded dahil dun sa pagiging faithful niya. So, yung church naman na to is, pabalik ko. It features wooden ceiling and wooden altar that were crafted using yung mga traditional designs. So, next na po tayo. addition lang itong last, which is the Mangyan Heritage Center or MHC sa Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. Yung date of build niya is noong 2000, and this Mangyan Heritage Center is a library, archive, and research and education center na located dun sa Oriental Mindoro. So, it builds upon the collection of Dutch anthropologist and Mangyan historian Antoon Posma. And one of its main function is to preserve and document and conduct yung further research on all topics about yung 8 Mangyan groups. Tapos, it also undertakes several activities which celebrate naman and promote the rich Mangyan culture. This structure officially opened in its door noong November 14 sa publiko. And yung operation nila is until now. Tapos, this also features an exhibit hall that incorporates yung wood in its structural design. The hall's wooden frame are reinforced with steel brackets and connectors for added strength and durability. So overall, yung use ng timber or wood sa mga churches and other infrastructure na nabanggit is nakakadagdag siya nung aesthetic appeal o maganda sa mata, 'di ba? Tapos nagbibigay din to ng mas natural and rustic ambience or look. So ayun lang po. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Kit Likigan and I will discuss the towers and buildings that has a structural components of timber or wood that can be found in the MIMAROPA region. Next. Cape Melville Lighthouse. The Cape Melville Lighthouse is a historic lighthouse located in the island of Balabac, the southernmost point of the province of Palawan in the Philippines. It is also the southwest corner of the archipelago. The first order light was constructed by the Spaniards to light Balabac Strait, the treacherous body of water that separates the Philippines from the neighboring country of Malaysia. The light is displayed from a 90 feet tall granite tower located on a hill 1.5 miles northwestward of the tip of Cape Melville, for a total elevation of 297 feet above sea level. The station was built by the Spanish government as part of their extensive lighting plan for the archipelago. So the current condition of this lighthouse is no longer in service, and a white aluminum prefabricated tower with modern solar-powered light was erected near the grounds of the old tower by the Philippine Coast Guard. Because the station is still manned, the original lights and lenses are still intact except for a central glass pane which was stolen by vandals. The tower still retains its original clockwork, but it's inoperative. Next, please. Eiffel Tower Replica Romblon. So, a newest attraction in Look Tablas Island province of Romblon. This replica of Eiffel Tower in Paris is made of bamboo and wood. It took 4.5 months to assemble and install the structure in a family resort in Bantigue. So this Eiffel Tower replica was constructed in 2015, and its structural members composed of timber and bamboo. Next po. The Tubataha Lighthouse, located in the uninhabited and isolated islet in Sound Atoll in the vast Sulu Sea. The Tubataha Reefs Light is one of the lighthouses built during the American era. The station was established in 1915, but the original lighthouse was erected only in 1938. What stands now is a concrete tower built by the Philippine Coast Guard in 1880 to replace the original wooden skeletal tower. The lighthouse is still active and in use today, and the current structure has an octagonal concrete keeper's house with a 15-meter octagonal concrete tower that flashes 2 white lights every 10 seconds. Tubataha Reefs Lighthouse is one of the only two man-made structures built in Tubataha Reefs. The other one is the Tubataha Ranger Station. The islet where the lighthouse is located is home to a large number of nesting seabirds and sea turtles. It is highly restricted to general public. This Tubataha Lighthouse was constructed in 1915 and its structural members composed of timber and concrete. Next po. Upper Reef Lighthouse. The Upper Reef Lighthouse was a historic lighthouse built on Bajo Apo Island in Upper Reef Natural Park. The park is located in the middle of Mindoro Strait, west of the province of Occidental Mindoro in the Philippines. The station was established to warn ships of the dangerous shallow reefs in the part of the strait. The original tower was the tallest lighthouse tower ever erected in the Philippines. The 118-foot tall structure was an iron skeletal tower with a central cylinder reinforced by a hexagonal frame and topped with a lantern room with two levels of gallery. The light station of Upper Reef was part of the first approved group of lighthouses in the maritime lighting plan of Spain for the Philippine archipelago during the Spanish colonial period. It was proposed to erect a steel tower with a third-order light on Bajo Apo Island in 1896. The tower and the lighting apparatus were already purchased complete by the Spanish authorities from France, and they were delivered and stored at the warehouse in Manila. All lighthouse constructions, though, were halted with the outbreak of the Philippines Revolution and the Spanish-American era. This lighthouse was constructed in 1906 and its main member of structure composed of steel and timber. Next po. So for the buildings, next po. The Immaculate Conception Cathedral. So the first mass in Puerto Princesa, initially a barrio, was held at the site of the present cathedral on March 10, 1872, by the Augustinian Recollect Fray Ezequiel Moreno, 6 days after the Spanish expedition arrived in the area. Subsequently, Moreno established the town and its parish mission under the patronage of the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary during World War II. On December 14, 1944, the parish witnessed the Palawan massacre at the adjacent Plaza Cuartel, where more or less 150 American soldiers were burned by the Imperial Japanese forces. The church has been rebuilt several times since its establishment, wherein the present structure took almost a century before it was completed in 1961 to serve as a cathedral of then Palawan Apostolic Vicariate under the helm of the Most Rev. Gregorio Espiga. The facade and interior are reminiscent of architecture of churches in the medieval Europe. This cathedral was constructed in 1872 and can be found in Puerto Princesa, Palawan, Philippines. Its main structural members composed of concrete, timber, and steel. Next po. Buena Vista View Deck. A popular stopover for tourists going to Puerto Princesa Underground River and Sabang Beach, it has an elevated concrete observation deck. Buena Vista View Deck is a stop often included on the way to Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. It offers a magnificent view on the Ulugan Bay and Rita Island. While you enjoy the panorama, you can have a drink and sit at the terrace of its little souvenir shop. So it was constructed in unknown po ang kanyang date of constructed. Tapos the structural members composed of concrete and timber. Next po. Boac Cathedral. The church, it seemed, was once a fortress during the Spanish era. This was quite evident on the rough stone walls surrounding the churchyard and its location, which was on the highest part of town. Aptly named Barangay Mataas, according to the National Historical Institute markers set on its walls. The cathedral was built in 1792. It became a haven for the locals during a Moro attack in the 1800s and was the place where the Philippine Revolutionary flag was blessed in 1899. The main body of the church facade is made of rough terracotta, while the bell tower is cut of adobe stones. The style is quite simple, according to Ferd Decenas en route. It is a fusion of Filipino-Hispanic Gothic architecture. Entering its beauty is carved doors. The walls is concurrent with its exterior. They are also made of red bricks. Looking upwards, the white ceiling is crisscrossed with dark wooden trims and decorated with sun-like ornaments. And up to the church sanctuaries are its retablos, a main one and two lesser halves. It was constructed in 1792 and its structural members composed of concrete and timber. Next po. The Casas Narvas. It was built in 1920 by Elias Narvas, a local coconut trader in those bygone years. Was called Bahay na Bato and also characterized by its massive red hardwood flooring, a balustre and azotea of Spanish and Chinese influence. Its design included capice-shelled sliding windows and stained glass walls. Narva's wife was named Vicenta Maciano Narvas, and the house is said to have been built in memory of Bartolome and Hilda Narvas, Elias' parents. During those years, it became a hub for political gatherings, being in the town center. Some dignitaries, both foreign and local, have dropped by this house to attend a ceremony or to be hosted for a while as house guests. It is also cited that the house is distinct for its historical and artistic values, and today is an example of architecture from the early years of the 20th century in Boac, Marinduque. So the structural members of this house was composed of a timber. Next po. Lastly, the Maharlikang Tahanan ni Kapitan Piroco. The house had belonged to the descendants of Pedro Lardizabal, aka Kapitan Piroco, the turn of the 20th century Kapitan Municipal of Boac on Governor Villa Street in the Poblacion. It was declared a historic site by then the National Historic Institute in 1973. It was also called as the Maharlikang Tahanan ni Kapitan Piroco. The house was the meeting place of the Philippine Commission head, William Howard Taft, and local officials in 1901 to discuss Marinduque's separation from Tayabas province. It was constructed in 1973 and its structural members composed of timber. That's all.
So, ayan, and now that we have learned about the structures in Region 4A and 4B, let's move forward and take a look at Region 5. Ang region ng Region 5 ay kilala rin bilang Bicol Region na sumasaklaw sa katimugang bahagi ng Luzon Island at mga kalapi na isla ng lalawigan. Kilala rin ito sa mga makabagong disenyo ng infrastruktura that are both aesthetically pleasing and functional. Next po. Binubuo ang Bicol Region ng 6 na mga probinsya katulad ng Albay, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Masbate at Sorsogon. Isa rin sa itong region na to ay kilala bilang gumagamit ng materials na sa pagbuo ng mga structures sa Region 5 ay ang mga composite steel timber, concrete timber o concrete timber and steel. And these materials offer several advantages over traditional buildings materials such as yung mga increase of strength, durability, and sustainability. Next po. These are the 5 categories of infrastructures that we are very happy to introduce to you. And these are the bridges, house, lighthouse, buildings, and the churches. So, yun po. Susunod na reporter po ay si Oladibe at i-discuss niya naman ay ang mga bridges sa rehiyon ng Bicol.
Hello, My name is Jay Coladibe and i-report natin is yung about sa bridges na matatagpuan sa Region 5. Ang una dito is Wooden Pilay Bridge na matatagpuan sa Camarines Sur, bahagi ng Region 5. It was constructed in the early 1900s during the American colonial period. The Pilay Bridge is a wooden bridge that spans the Bicol River, connecting the towns of Pili and Ocampo, providing an important transportation link for the communities it serves. The bridge is made primarily of wood, with wooden planks serving as the deck and wooden beams and trusses supporting the structure. The wood used in the construction of the bridge is believed to be a molabe. The molabe naman is a hardwood that is known for its strength and durability. And over time, the bridge has undergone several repairs and renovations to ensure its safety and longevity. The most recent renovation was completed in 2014, which involved replacing old and damaged wooden planks with new ones and reinforcing. So, the next bridge is Bulusan Hanging Bridge. So, matatagpuan naman siya sa Sorsogon. It was built during early 2000. The Bulusan Hanging Bridge is relatively new landmark in the town of Bulusan, Sorsogon, Philippines. It was built to provide a safe and easy way for locals and tourists to cross the Bulusan River, which can become difficult to cross during the rainy season. Despite being relatively new, the Bulusan Hanging Bridge has already gone through some repairs and renovation over the years to ensure its safety and longevity. In 2019, the Department of Tourism allocated funds for the rehabilitation of the bridge, which included the replacement of some of the wooden planks. Bulusan Hanging Bridge remains a popular attraction in Sorsogon, drawing both locals and tourists to experience its unique thrill and to enjoy the beauty scenery of the Bulusan River and the surrounding nature. The third one is Lignon Hill Hanging Bridge na matatagpuan naman sa Albay. It was built during 2017. The Lignon Hill Hanging Bridge is a pedestrian bridge that spans about 100 meters long and hangs over a lush greenery of the hillside. It offers a breathtaking view of the Mayon volcano and the surrounding areas of Legazpi City. The bridge is made of steel cables and wooden planks and is a popular spot for tourists and locals alike who want to experience a unique way of crossing the hillside. These bridges is not only important infrastructure for the locals but also provide a unique experience for visitors to the province. So last na bridge naman is Nasigpit Hanging Bridge na matatagpuan ulit sa Sorsogon. It was built to replace the old bamboo bridge and was completed in 2015. The Nasigpit Hanging Bridge is approximately 70 meters long and hangs about 25 meters above the Nasigpit River. It is made of steel cables and wooden planks and can accommodate pedestrians. The bridge is also a popular tourist attraction, offering visitors stunning view of the river and the surrounding lush greenery. Despite being rebuilt, the bridge still maintains its traditional design and continues to be an important landmark and tourist attraction in the area. So that's it.
So good day everyone. Now let's talk about the houses in Bicol Region, specifically the ancestral houses. So my name is John Mark and this is my report. The next. So the first one is Rufino Pabico Ancestral House. So it was located in Daet, Camarines Norte. So the new owner of this house was Francisco Pabico, the grandson of the original owner. So it was built in 1917. So within its manicured front yard is an octagonal fountain. Like many typical bahay na bato, it has a masonry ground floor and a wooden second floor. Arches are predominant in front from the ground floor, colonnaded from front porch with its fluted square columns all the way up to its second floor, sliding copies or yung gawa sa oyster shell. So, its arches decorated with intricate lacy or yung colado woodwork. That same woodwork can also be found above the windows and in the eave fascias. Between the window sill and the floor are ventanillas with sliding wooden shutters for additional ventilation. So next one. Next one was the Casa Feliz. So matatagpuan siya sa Juban, Sorsogon, and it was built in 1898. So the old bahay na bato or the stone houses of Juban were once the residences of some of the town's richest families. So including dito is yung Bendeos families, Guevaras, Grajos, Alindugans, Guarins, Lasalas, and Gorospes. So, isa sa mga old house na hanggang ngayon ay nakatayo pa din is yung Casa Feliz. And then the first owner of this house was Don Leon Grajo na regalo sa kanya ng kanyang father when he passed the bar exams in the early 1900s. So this centuries-old house are called Bahay na Bato because of its stone brick foundation. So this stone brick formed uh, the base of the houses while the upper structure is made of wood. So another striking feature of the house is the large sliding window that are made of hardwood and embellished with capiz shell. So the Bahay na Bato structures have collectively become the pride of Juban and a major Sorsogon tourist spot. Next one. So, Balay ni Bayot or kilala siya sa tawag na Villa Bayot. So, it was owned by Don Francisco Bayot and his granddaughter. So, it was built in 1880. So, this house is still upright on its original foundations. Balay ni Bayot or House of Bayot near the port showcases native hardwood floors, walls, and doors with lattice work and intricate carving, as well as Catipar shell sliding window with ventanilla and statues of Saint Anthony and Padua, the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ. So, noong 1944, the American liberators shelled and bombed the capital, but the big house was spared, so di siya na-damage. So it came under guerrilla siege and dislodged the Japanese, but it remained uncaged. Next one. So the company house of Smith, Bell and Company. So kilala siya sa tawag na Angela Manalang Gloria, and it was located in Tabaco City, Albay, na ginawa noong 1880s, and it was built by Don Mariano Villanueva. So this house was built in the geometric style of Bahay na Bato, which became dominant for the century from around 1780s to 1880s. In contrast to the later floral style of Bahay na Bato, the geometric style is distinguished by a prominent interior gallery or yung volada. So, two sets of shutters, the copy shell shutter or the concha and the wooden louvers or persiana. Narrow roof, eaves, and minimal exterior decorations. So all of these are seen in the Manalang Gloria House. In addition, the house has two distinct features that make it easily recognizable from hundreds of other Bahay na Bato houses in the Philippines. So yung una is the sunburst design on the fanlight of its lower floor window and doors. And yung pangalawa is the wraparound scheme of its upper floor windows. So this house combines a lower floor made of stone walls and an upper floor of wooden materials. Balay Senauna. So it was located in Daraga Albay and was established as early as 1913. So recognized as the oldest house in Albay. Balay Sinauna has become more than just a restaurant as it is now regarded as the tourist destination in Bicol Region. So yung Balay Sinauna is play on Tagalog word Sinauna, which means ancient. Is a Filipino restaurant that serves and promotes the rich culinary culture of Bicol Region. Balay Sinauna has been restored into elegant restaurant in 2005. So kahit na-renovate na siya, makikita or napanatili pa rin ito yung traditional looks niya and still looking like a Filipino house with its native architectural style. Upon entering the place, it's like you are entering a Filipino home set about more than 50 years ago. The dimly lit halls, wooden interiors, and antique collection neatly displayed in the third-story house totally make it an ideal place to spend a great dining experience within Bicol. So the last one is the Dakulang Harong. Um, it is located in San Juan, Libmanan, Camarines Sur, and it was established noong 1926. So the architectural design of the house is almost patterned to or inspired by the Bahay na Bato or the colonial stone house of the Filipino noble that has two-story and rectangular in shape, which is a combination of wood and concrete materials in building it. So the sagwan or ground floor used as a storeroom of the carro or the carriage of the coffin that was for rent and also the storeroom of wooden coffins that were for sale in the olden times. The kaida or a second floor or antisala used for dancing, sewing, playing the piano and harp were all wooden including the balustrades of the ventanillas. So bottom small window of the upper window that give the whole house a cool air and also the wide windows that have sliding copies shell windows. So that would be all. Thank you.
A good day to everyone. I'm John Emmanuel, and I'm assigned to report churches. The first one is Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary Church. It is located in Naga City, Camarines Sur, Philippines, and it is made of stone and timber. It was constructed on 1578. This church features a concrete base with wooden beams and posts. The wooden elements were intricately carved by local craftsmen. The original church was made of bamboo and thatch and was later replaced by a stone structure in the 1600s. The church underwent several renovations and expansions through the centuries, with the latest reconstruction in 2003. The church has been a witness to many significant events in Philippine history, including the Philippine Revolution and World War II. Our Lady of Most Holy Rosary Church remains a significant religious and cultural landmark in Naga City, attracting pilgrims and tourists alike. So the next one is Saint Michael the Archangel. It is located at Caramoan, Camarines Sur, and it is made up of the combination of stone and timber also. It is constructed in 17th century. The history of this church was made of combination of concrete and wood. Its a wooden altar was Its wooden altar was crafted by local artisans and is considered a masterpiece piece of Bicolano art. It is also was originally made of bamboo and nipa, but was later reconstructed with bricks and stone in 724 by Franciscan friars. During World War II, the church served as a refuge for the locals, as it was used as a hospital and evacuation center for those who fled from the Japanese occupations. Saint John the Baptist Church was declared a National Cultural Treasure by the National Museum of the Philippines in 2001 due to due to its historical and cultural significance. It is features a mix of Baroque and neoclassical architecture with intricate carvings, murals, and paintings that depict of Saint Michael the Archangel and other biblical scenes. Thirdly, Our Lady of Peñafrancia Basilica Church. Location: It is located in Naga City, Camarines Sur. It is made up of stone and timber also. It was constructed in 1980s. This modern church is a popular pilgrimage site and features a concrete base with wooden accents and carvings. It is the largest Marian shrine in Asia. Our Lady of Peñafrancia Basilica is a Catholic church located in Naga City, as I said earlier. It houses the image of Our Lady of Peñafrancia, which is considered to the patroness of the Bicol Region. The image is believed to have miraculous power and attract thousands of devotees during the annual Peñafrancia Festival. The church has undergone several renovations and expansions, including the addition of modern-day dome. And in 1985, the church was declared a minor basilica by Pope John Paul II, making it one of only 14 minor basilicas in the Philippines. And the next one is St. Jude Thaddeus Parish Church. It is located in Legazpi City, Albay. It is made up of stone and timber. It was constructed on 1605. This church features a unique mix of concrete and wood elements. Its wooden ceiling is particularly noteworthy and features intricate carvings also. The church was established in 1605 and has undergone several renovations and expansions over the years, including the addition of the new bell tower in 1800s. During World War II, the church was heavily damaged and was subsequently restored in 1950s. Uh, in 2006, St. Thaddeus Parish Church was declared a national cultural treasure by the National Museum of the Philippines due to its historical and cultural significance. The church has become a popular tourist attraction in Legazpi City, known for its beautiful architecture and religious art and stunning views of Mayon volcano. And the next one was St. Peter the Apostle Metropolitan Cathedral. It is located in Riga City, Camarines Sur. It is made up of stone and timber, and it was constructed in on early 17th century. This church was heavily damaged during World War II, but has since been restored. It features a concrete and wooden structure with a wooden altar and intricately carved wooden doors. The cathedral was elevated to the status of cathedral in 1971. The current building was constructed 1905 after the original church was destroyed by fire. The cathedral is known for its impressive stained glass windows and ornate interior. Also, it serves as the mother church of the Diocese of Marquette and is dedicated to Saint Peter the Apostle.
So, ayan po, ang next naman ay yung buildings. Magandang araw po, ako po si Eden Miselda and I'm going to introduce you some of the buildings katulad ng houses, bridges, and churches that were and are built in Bicol Region that use timber or wood as a structural member. Next po. Una na po dito ay ang Holy Rosary Minor Seminary na kilala rin bilang Seminario del Santissimo Rosario. Ito ay located sa Elias Angeles, Camarines Sur, and it was established on March 7, 1793. The original building was constructed in the early 18th century around 1707 at pinatayo ito ng mga Spanish friars para gawing boarding house ng mga native Filipino who aspired to be Catholic priests. Gayunpaman, ang seminaryo ay binuksan noong 1793 at ito ay gawa sa kahoy, bamboo at nifa palm na kung saan a certain bishop na sinabi niya na itong materials na ginamit ay mabilis masunog o kaya mabilis masira na, and these were the common construction materials and in the Philippines noong mga panahong iyon. Hindi naglaon, in the mid-19th century, the original materials, yung bamboo, yung wood, and nipa palm were replaced with brick and stone that made the building more permanent and durable, which showed the influence of Spanish colonial architecture. And yung nakikita natin sa picture, yung estilo niyan is yung neoclassical architectural style. Gusaling nakikita natin yan nga. Yung it featured the yung arc, windows, doors, decorative cornices, at iba pang ornamental details. And natapos yung pagko-construct ng bagong building na yan o yung ginawang renovation noong 1853, which still stands today po. Next po. The second building is called the Barit Bridge na matatagpuan naman natin sa Santiago, Iriga City na itinayo naman noong 1914, and this building was this bridge was built over Barit River that served as a significant waterway for transportation and irrigation purposes. Itong tulay na to gawa sa kahoy and gamit yung mga traditional na construction techniques, and the design of the early Barit Bridge featured timber filings driven into riverbed to support the bridge foundation, and yung wooden beams planks were then laid across the filings to create the bridge deck. So lumipas ang mga taon habang umuunlad at lumalago naman yung Iriga City, sumasailalim rin yung tulay sa ilang renovation and repairs para panatilihin ang functionality at kaligtasan ng mga gagamit nito. Gayunpaman, kahit na inirenovate at nirepair na siya ng ilang beses, the wooden bridge deteriorated, and in the mid-20th century, it was replaced with a more modern concrete bridge to accommodate increasing traffic and heavier loads. Next po. Yeah. Ang sumunod naman po ay ang Naga Metropolitan Cathedral na kilala rin bilang Metropolitan Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist. Tinayo ito noong 1595 at matatagpuan naman ito sa Naga City, Camarines Sur. The original Naga Metropolitan Cathedral was constructed mainly using timber as its primary structure material from the posts, beams, walls, and roofs. Sa mga panahon na yon, saganang Pilipinas sa kahoy at madali itong nakokolekta, making it a common choice for construction. And the cathedral Later on, the cathedral expanded and underwent renovation at nanatiling prominent ang paggamit ng kahoy bilang structural member. However, while time was passing on and with the constant changing of construction rather practices, other materials such as stone, brick, and concrete were gradually introduced and used in conjunction with a timber. Next po. So, ang next naman natin ay ang Casa Simeon. And it has been a landmark in Bakakay, Albay for generation and itinayo ito noong 1920s. It is a Spanish-style family residence by the late Simeon and Beatriz Alparce, a prominent family in Bicol Region. The colonial home was recently converted into a well-appointed boutique hotel featuring modern conveniences blending well with traditional materials, and it is now managed by the descendants of Alparce family. Dito sa house na to, timber was extensively used as a structural members. And katulad ng Naga Metropolitan, it was constructed using timber as its primary structural material from the posts, beams, walls, and roof. And the preserved Spanish-era house at the resort showcases the ingenuity of the craftsmanship of the period, providing a glimpse into the history of construction practices in Albay and in the Philippines. Next po. Ang sumunod naman natin ay ang Museo Sorsogon. It is centrally located at the old provincial jail building sa Capitol Compound, Barangay Borabod, Sorsogon City. It was built in 1916 but it was inaugurated in June 26, 2008. Itong museo na to ay dating provincial jail and courthouse sa likod ng Kapitolyo ng Sorsogon. The museum was then opened to the public noong Marso ng 2021. And this museo was originally designed in the traditional bahay kubo style, which is vernacular architectural style in the Philippines na kakakitaan at nagtatampok ng stilt house, yung nakaangat po sa lupa na common sa mga bahay kubo, nagawa sa kawayan at troso. The structure of the Museo Sorsogon incorporates a framework of timber posts, beams, and joists, and even yung roofing system yung sa bubong features a timber as a prominent structural member. Katulad nga ng mga nabanggit ko kanina, sa paglipas ng panahon, ito rin ay sumailalim sa renovation at napalitan din yung mga materials na ginamit. Next po. Yeah. Next na po kasi nabanggit na po yung kanina. Ayan. Ang panglima naman po natin ay ang San Francisco Church na located sa Naga City at itinayo noong 1578. Ayon sa isang historical maker, ito ay ang kauna-unahang simbahan na itinayo sa Bicol Region ng mga Franciscan friars, making it is one of the oldest churches in the Philippines. And ang original na ekstruktura ay gawa sa bamboo at nipa palm. And in the 18th century, the original materials used were replaced with a more permanent structure made of coral stones and bricks and was gradually expanded. And in the 19th and early 20th century, the San Francisco Church was rebuilt in the neo-Gothic architectural style, which was popular during that period. Next po. Ayan po. Ang sumunod naman ay ang museo ni Jesse Robredo na kauna-unahang governance museum na itinayo sa Bicol at Naga City. The construction started in 2013 and was completed in 2014. However, it was inaugurated on August 18, 2017. The museum's architecture features a modern and minimalist design with a clean line, simple forms, and the use of glass and steel as a prominent materials. However, some wood materials are used for the exterior and architectural design as yung nakikita po natin dyan sa picture. And it has a two-story structure with a total floor area of approximately 500 square meters rather. And the main entrance features a glass facade. Ayan po, kita po sa picture. Allowing or mas nag-aalaw po ng pumasok yung natural light to illuminate the interior spaces. And the museum also incorporates sustainable design elements such as yung rainwater meron po dyan sa gitna or yung mga iba pa pong sa ng museo is rainwater as a harvesting and natural ventilation to minimize its environmental impact. Para po yung parang minimize or onti yung magiging impact niya sa environmental. Next po. The next one is yung Daraga Church, and it was built in 1772 on Daraga, Albay. Noong mga panahon ng 17th century, history po nito is natakot po yung ilang parishioners na sumabog ulit yung Mayon volcano at dahil doon sila ay humiling ng permission sa gobyerno ng Spaniards na magtatag ng bagong pamayanan sa timog ng Kagsawa sa ibabaw ng Burol kung saan matatanaw yung bulkang Mayon. And they named their new village Daraga and built a church made of woods and light materials. And by 1772, they started building a stone church that was completed in 1773 using the local materials and was built in the Baroque architectural style. Next po. Ang pangpito naman natin ay ang Bicol Regional Training and Teaching Hospital na itinayo noong 1918 sa Kamalig, Albay. It was known as Albay Provincial Hospital, and it started as a 10-bed, one-story barracks type building na gawa sa mga kahoy na materyales na nagsilbi namang Army Station Hospital of the U.S. Army Reservation on Sagpon Plain sa boundary ng Legazpi at Daraga. Later on, yung building na yan was expanded into two-story concrete building and inaugurated in 1928 with an idiom of Renaissance architecture style. Next po. Ayan po yung ito po yung pinakahuling building na i-discuss ko, which is yung Magallanes Municipal Building naman na matatagpuan sa Magallanes, Sorsogon. At ito ay tinayo noong 1950. And this first municipal building was made of wooden materials with a typical Spanish design. However, with the fear of impending threats of termites, yung mga langgam po, kasi po diba yung wood is mabilis po siya or prone po siya sa mga langgam or yung mga nababakbak po yung kahoy. And ayun nga po. And with the threats of this, nasumira naman sa foundation ng building, ito ay pina-renovate ng bagong mayor sa Magallanes, Sorsogon, giving the old house a new face and transform it into more dignified look with concrete materials partially combined with still useful wooden parts na mas na magpatibay naman sa pundasyon ng gusali. And ayun lang po. I think that would be all for the buildings for Region 5.
Ayan, so yun na po yung kabuuan ng reporting ng aming group, which is Group 2. Talagang napakaganda and sobrang rich ng timber resources ng Region 4A or ng Calabarzon, 4B or the MIMAROPA, and last region which is Region 5, the Bicol Region. Samahan pa ng creativity and skills ng ating engineers, architects, and the builders themselves. So, the results are the structures that we have discussed. Durable and sustainable structures made from composite timber, concrete, and steel elements. So again, we are Group 2 and thank you so much and good day to everyone.